Hello, I'm attorney Scott Lesowitz, and today I will be discussing my opinion that the defamation lawsuit that Brett Favre filed against Shannon Sharpe is silly, that it has almost no chance of succeeding, and that it is a misguided, overly aggressive attempt at PR management. Now, for a bit of background, Brett Favre has been implicated in an alleged welfare fraud scheme. There are two parts of it. One is that Favre allegedly personally received $1.1 million of funds meant for welfare recipients. Favre has repaid those funds. He repaid those funds. The other part of it is that Favre allegedly participated in a scheme in which $5 million of welfare funds was spent on a volleyball stadium for Southern Mississippi University. Now, in a September episode of Undisputed, Shannon Sharpe gave a fiery speech about what Favre did and his opinions on that, and they were not good opinions for Favre. So Sharpe made numerous statements that Favre had stolen money and what he did was terribly wrong, and Sharpe did that as part of a commentary that Favre is receiving preferential treatment from the public and from the media because he's white and because he's popular. And he talked about how other athletes were treated differently and treated unfairly, other athletes who were not white. So the defamation lawsuit focuses on three statements that Sharpe made during that segment. Those three statements are, one, that Sharpe said, "You've got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low." The other was that Brett Favre is taking from the underserved. And the third is that Favre stole money from people that really needed the money. So first, the biggest problem Favre has here is that even if the things that Sharpe said are false, even if all these allegations against Favre turn out to be completely untrue, Sharpe has a lot of First Amendment constitutional protection here. He's got the right of free speech here. And so because Favre is a public figure, and this is a matter of public interest, welfare fraud involving a Hall of Fame quarterback, Favre doesn't merely have to prove that what Sharpe said was false. Favre also has to prove that Sharpe either intentionally lied or that Sharpe had a reckless disregard for the truth when he made the statements. Brett Favre is almost assuredly not going to be able to prove that. In the first amended complaint that the Mississippi Department of Human Services has filed, they allege, quote, "Favre knew that this was a sham designed to allow MDHS," that's the Mississippi Department of Human Services, "to cover Favre's commitment to fund construction of the volleyball facility. Therefore, Favre expressed to a co-defendant concern that the media never discover the source of these payments on his behalf," end quote. And those statements were contained in text messages that have become public. I just don't see how he was either intentionally lying, definitely wasn't intentionally lying. You watch that clip, he was very sincere, or that he was reckless. And another problem that Favre has is that defamation only covers false statements of fact. One cannot be held liable for defamation merely for stating an opinion, for having an opinion that happens to be wrong. Now, in stating an opinion, one can imply a statement of fact that underlies the opinion, and then so could still be liable in that scenario. However, this is another reason why Sharpe is going to have more latitude and why it's less likely he's going to be found liable, because to the degree these statements are opinions, they're his opinions and he's allowed to have opinions. And then finally, there's a big problem here, and I blame this one on Favre's attorneys, and that is that in the complaint that Favre filed, the legal document starting the lawsuit, Favre doesn't mention the one assertion that Sharpe made that I think you could plausibly make an argument that he was reckless in saying it. I'm not saying he was reckless. I'm just saying at least it would be not frivolous of Favre to claim it. And that was that Sharpe asserts during the segment that Favre did not return the $1.1 million that went to him personally. And that's just wrong. And I think, Sharpe should have known the difference. And that said, I think he was sincere, and I think he could make good arguments about why he wasn't reckless, but at least it wouldn't be frivolous. But then again, as I said, Favre's legal team did not include that in the complaint. So I'm Scott Lesowitz, and this has been my opinion. Hope you enjoy watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll try to put out more good content. This is a new channel.